Hello again, everybody. It's Scott Casper, Takedown Wrestling, continuing our coverage of the sport. This one brought to you by the St. Louis Sports Commission, continuing to deliver the best in sports to America's best sports city. We'll see you at the Division II Championships. We head to Maryville University. That's where Mike Denney now holds court. He joins us now. Mike, how are you?
Great, Scott. Thanks. I always enjoy talking to you.
Oh, thank you, buddy. It's always good to talk to you. Even better so after a wonderful win like you guys had at the NWCA multi-divisional duels, where you took 3.5 years to get it off the ground, a brand new program. But by God, you have done everything you said you were going to do, and then some. Congratulations.
Well, thanks, Scott. We appreciate that. It was special for us. I'd have to tell you that I even had some tears in my eyes. We had a great match with Notre Dame in the finals, and the National Wrestling Coaches Association does a great job on the national duels. It was a tremendous event. All the 16 teams in Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college, the women's wrestling. They had a kids tournament going on. They had a high school tournament going on. They had a collegiate open tournament going on. So it was a happening, and we were thankful to be part of it. And of course our guys performed really well during the competition.
Well, you guys really threw down. The Saints did at this happening. You mentioned your opponent, and I'll tell you what, Frank is just an absolute joy to coach against. He knows his game, but they are a very tough bunch at Notre Dame of Ohio, and to be able to beat them, he has that same kind of a goal, same kind of a tenure that you do in the sport of wrestling. I got to believe there's some respect there.
Yes, there is. You got to just congratulate him, compliment him on what they've done in the short period of time. Going from NAIA then to Division II, winning national championships in NAIA, and then of course winning the national championship in Division II last year. So it was, we really enjoyed competing against him, and he does a tremendous job there. It was a great duel. I mean, 5-5 comes down to the last match. Only one match had bonus points, and that's where our 197-pounder was able to come up with a major decision. So, to win 16-15, fighting, and it really, we've got some we're young yet. We don't have any seniors on our team, but a lot of these guys have been through the hills, the valleys, the mountains, the canyons, the sunshine and the shadows of building the program here. So, it was a great accomplishment for them, and I was just really thankful that they were able to, kind of experience that, because it has been quite a journey. Our first year here, we never won a duel. We never finished better than 7th in any tournament. So, and a lot of those guys were part of that and a part of that building process. So it was special for them.
Well, I know you're proud of your team's performance, not only at the national duels, but the way they've carried themselves, as is Maryville University in the athletic department. Let's go back to the Division II championships and how it all started. Jarrett Singh got the Saints off to a quick start as he posted an 8-6 sudden victory overtime win. Perhaps not the way you'd want to start or compete in a sudden victory overtime win, but an 8-6, I'll take it any way you can get it.
Every match was a battle. I mean, every match was a fan's dream, I think, to watch it. It was teams. Well, Jared comes up with Jared's a redshirt freshman. We had a redshirt freshman at 133. We had a redshirt freshman at 141. So for those guys to come in and perform as well as they did, really. And then of course we kind of got to our veteran group, with Keenan Haggerty at 149, who's ranked number 1, and then of course Greg Haggerty. Keenan's a junior. Greg Haggerty at 57, wrestled their national champ, and it was a good battle there. And of course Dimitri Willis went 4-0, our 165-pounder on the weekend. What a tremendous! He was a warrior for us, and actually all of our guys were. Zeb Wall, going against Joey Davis. Joey hasn't lost a match in Division II. In the 2 years, in 2.5 years now. So what a battle that went, 6-5. Then of course 84, their national champ against Nick Burkhart, who was 4th last year, and both of them highly ranked, and both of them right at the top there. And that was a battle. And then of course '97, and with Ryan Belts, who's really come on for us. He was another one who's been through the hills and the valleys. And then of course our heavyweight, is a sophomore. Ryan Belts is a junior, and Nick's a junior, but our heavyweight's a sophomore. He's ranked right up there and was fourth last year. So he was able to come up with a decision for us to win the duel for us. So yes, it was a great battle.
I want to go back
It was exciting.
I want to go back, if I can, to Keenan Haggerty. I mean, he really truly proved out why he is top ranked at 149. The 7-3 victory is indicative of a winning style. It's not necessarily bonus points at that point, but it shows the heart of the athlete. And Keenan Haggerty is all heart.
Well, he went 4-0 in the tournament, and his first match, he had a young man who had been in the finals the last 2 years at 157. Then he had 3 ranked guys in a row.
Wow!
And he went 4-4 in the tournament. So he had a tremendous performance, and actually got a lot of honors for that as far as on the Division II wrestling scene. But he's been, well, as a true freshman. I've got to tell you a little story about 3 of our guys.
Okay.
Keenan Haggerty, Nick Burkhart, and Christian Loges committed to us at our other place, but they hung with me through this whole process, and it in a lot of other places. But I kept telling them, just hang on. I think we got something that could happen, and they did. And they both, all 3 of them, been, quite, big for us. They come up big for us just as leaders. Keenan got second as a true freshman. That was the first All-American that Maryville has ever had for spineless. Of course, they didn't know wrestling before. They didn't know wrestling from field hockey when we got here. I think, I'll tell you, Scott, you'll appreciate this. In our first duel that we had on campus here, the Maryville fans, this is the first time they've ever seen, but they didn't know whether we won or we lost the duel. They had no way of knowing. It took them about 2 years to figure out whether they won it. Now they understand how we win and lose.
2.
So they expect to win now. Back then it was kind of nice. They didn't know if they won or lost.
Now they're educated. You made the mistake of educating them.
Yeah. Winning is a little bigger now.
When you say the other place, you're talking about that hockey school down the road, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I didn't know if they'd moved you out of the dojo or not, but you have an incredible facility there that obviously you're going to want to see grow. It's more like going into a television studio than it is perhaps a wrestling room, in that drapes and lights from the ceiling are much like a TV studio, and I would be very comfortable wrestling in there because I work in television. But I just think that you have made the best out of a great situation that was offered to you by Maryville, and now you're proving positive that not only is your dream right, your program is right. I mean, a 16-15 victory over Notre Dame of Ohio, man, those are hard to come by.
Yes, it was definitely special. And you're talking about a wrestling room, which we call the dojo. That's Japanese for place of enlightenment, actually. Yeah. And we had to fix up the room when we came here. They showed us this room, a bunch of tables and chairs in it, and said, "Well, could you use this as a practice room?" I said, "Well, yeah, we can make this work." And then we had to carve out a locker room.
Right.
We chased somebody out of there. She hasn't spoke to me since.
She hasn't talked. She's not taking my calls either. We're talking with Mike Denney. I'm sorry, Mike, we're having some technical issues on your end, a bit of a weak signal. But so you carved out a locker room out of someone else's office, and then you made offices for yourself as well.
Well, my office is the coffee shop right outside and this summer they remodeled it somewhat, the coffee shop. So I tell everybody they remodeled my office. I got a brand, I got couches, I can get you a coffee. That's my office.
All right. So prior to having the honor of facing Notre Dame of Ohio and Frank and his squad, you had an opportunity to face another great guy that you've known for a number of years, Steve Costanzo, and his St. Cloud State team. This is a very, very tough team. 18-16 was the final score, but it showed, I think, it really gave a great example of what you were capable of, and of course you followed it up. Talk to us about facing St. Cloud State and Steve Costanzo in particular.
Well, I have to tell you that Steve Costanzo and Zeb Wall probably are the two wrestlers that I've known the longest as far as recruits. I think Steve started coming to our wrestling camps when he was 5 and 6 years old. And I went up to him, just gave him a big hug. He's just like one of the family. I've known him and his family and the family he has now. And of course, just proud as I can be of how he's doing it the right way there. They're always strong. They're consistent. He's done a tremendous job there. So to go against him was a pleasure and an honor, really. And we knew it'd be a great battle. He's always got his guys ready. And although I did tell him that before the duel, respect your elders. But we knew it was going to be a great duel. And, just going back with him and his family so many years and known him since he was 5 or 6 years old. Wow. Was it really special? And I got Zeb Wall on our team, and I go back because his brother Blue wrestled for us. Then his brother Henry wrestled for us. So he's my third brother, and he used to hang around with me when Blue was wrestling for us. Just a little guy following me around, and I'd always tell him every time I saw him, he'd come over and hang out with me when we were doing tournaments and stuff. I'd say, "You can commit to us at any time." So I honestly got tears in my eyes when, as a senior, he called me up and he says, "Coach, I am going to commit to you." Wow. So that was really special because I'd been telling him that since he was 6 years old. So I love it. That's kind of part of the history of it all, and so pretty special.
I love it, Coach. It's the best of the best. Of course, you guys are playing host this year to the NCAA Division II National Championships, you and the St. Louis Sports Commission. It'll be held at the Chaifetz Arena. What can you tell us about that? How much is that added pressure for you, or is that the championship committee of the athletic department at Maryville?
Well, in 2010, we hosted at our other place there. We hosted the Division IIs 5 times. So in 2010, I really challenged our sports commission there to bid on the Division I's because we had the Division IIs. Let's get the Division I's here. First time in history, the 2s and the 1s, same city, a week apart. And we did that, and both places sold out. And so coming down here, I got with our sports commission. Of course, they've got a great history of the Division I's here.
You bet.
I think, golly, maybe 5 or 6 times they've hosted Division I's. I've been to every one of them. So I knew that part of it. And of course, we teamed up together, and I said, let's make history again. But I said, give us a little time to build up our team so we can actually get somebody to qualify. I don't want to do all this work and not have anybody in the tournament. So we for 3 years, and then this is our 4th year, and of course we've got some guys we think we can qualify, and the sports commission has just been. I tell them we just got done with a conference call with the NCAA as far as the national tournament, and we had a meeting. We have a meeting every 2 weeks with our local organizing committee, but I tell them every time, I don't know how to handle you. We didn't have help like this up there. So we really want to make this thing pop, Scott. I mean, we want to do things that have never been done in Division II national championship history. We've got suites we're selling. We're going to do some things with youth wrestling. We're going to have the spotlights, the smoke, we're going to, I'm handpicking the national anthems. Yeah, we're going to make this thing, the best that we can. And I'm excited about it, but I tell our team about every day, we want you to qualify for we've got a tough qualifier.
You got some work to do.
Is by far the toughest, and so we've got to get our guys there, and that's going to be the big part of it.
You've got some work to do on the way there. Of course, you guys will be back in action here this Friday, the 23rd. It'll be University of Central Oklahoma. It'll be in St. Louis, followed by a Blue Springs, Missouri trip, Missouri Valley College. The Missouri Valley Open will take place after that in Marshall, Missouri. It's off to Edwardsville to face McKendree on the 4th of February. Missouri Baptist, always tough. Missouri Baptist, again, right there in your backyard, right down the road. The University of Indianapolis Open, Lindenwood University, the Lombardi Duels, the Super Regionals. I mean, there's a ton of wrestling to do between now and then. Is it a challenge to keep the kids focused on the job at hand?
Well, we eventually want to get to the point where we're pretty close to that this year. I think maybe we are. At our other place, I really tried every dual meet wrestle a ranked team. And we're pretty close to getting that done here now. And we started the Dr. Lombardi duels. You know, our president of our college is Dr. Lombardi, so I'm networking there a little bit. So he'll be there. We make him a big part of the duels, and he's there for every match. And matter of fact, we actually let him sit right in the corner. He didn't know wrestling from field hockey when he first started. Now he's telling me how to coach. So that's good. That's all good. And then Jeff Miller, the vice president of Maryville, is we call him the president of Maryville Wrestling, because he goes with us. The vice president here,
nice,
goes with us on every trip. Jeff Miller takes every photo we have for our Facebook and for our guys and for parents and stuff. And so he has become a really good friend, and actually a good close personal friend of my wife and I's, and has been a big part of helping us make this transition here, because it was a transition. I mean, we're going from, with my wife and I laugh, it's like going back and raising your grandkids.
Right.
You're starting off. We're starting from scratch, but to see our guys accomplish some of the things they've accomplished, and of course we're not done yet. The best is yet to come, we hope, and so that's what we're looking forward to.
Mike Denney has been our guest today in our In Focus interview, brought to you in part by the St. Louis Sports Commission. Chris Roseman and his team over there. The NCAA Division II National Championships are coming up in St. Louis, Missouri on the 13th and 14th of March. We want to make sure you have plans to attend that event in St. Louis at the Scheifetz Arena. Mike, anybody else in the athletic department there, family, friends, or anybody you want to give a special shout out, because you don't make this journey alone? You mentioned your wife, of course. She has been an absolute inspiration to you for as long as you guys have been together, but she's also been a mother to this team in many ways, and your teams over the years, and they love her.
Yeah, she was my first recruit to come down here. This is I had to sign her first. She was the first letter of intent. I had to sign to give up everything, our house for 37 years, and come down here. And gosh, she's been tremendous. And like you said, she's like a second mother to all of our guys. And Maryville's embraced us. So to do something like this, we feel good about getting Maryville a little recognition. Winning the national duels, bringing in that. They never hosted a national championship here, so Maryville will be the host for the national championship, and of course our athletic director Marcus Manning. Of course, the first day I met him, he came in a little bit after I did. I said, Marcus, now the first thing I want to tell you is you're my 21st AD in the 40 some years, 42 years I guess it was at that time. He looked at me, you had 21 ADs? Yes, I had 21 ADs. For some reason I had 21 ADs. Not sure the whole background of that, but he's done a tremendous job here with our athletic department. And of course, they made the transition from Division III to Division II. And that was the first year. Our first year here was the first year that they could actually compete in Division II. So that was a big transition for Maryville. And but they've embraced us here and embraced our guys and the faculty, and they're finally figuring out what wrestling's all about a little bit. But so this has been certainly a big transition and a great challenge for us professionally. But we had a great bunch of guys that they bought in, and they're giving us, they're doing all we ask. So if we fall short someplace, it's our fault, so to speak, because they're doing everything they can. So And you know what, Scott, I want to say I appreciate you, all you've done for the sport. We go back so many years, going back to the Kaufman tournament and the years we spent. I still miss that tournament. I don't know if 722 wrestlers the last year we had it there, and you were there, and
Steve Foster. Oh yeah, it's a lot of good memories, but how many kids benefited from that? There was,
and but our first year here we had like 250, and we brought our wrestling league down here. We had over 700 kids in our high school wrestling league. Our first year we had it here, we had 50. So you can see it's been quite a transition. You're going back and starting over and trying to build it back up again. So that has been a delightful challenge, so to speak. But I want to just say I've enjoyed working with you and Class Act, and all the years. You know what? I appreciate the old warriors of the sport, and you're one of them. So thanks for all you've done for the sport of wrestling, and you and I going back all those years, and the national duels and that kind of thing. So I appreciate you.
It's easy to get behind somebody like you, Mike. I appreciate what you've done for the kids. You've always been very genuine, open, and honest, and true in your intentions. And by God, the results, well, they speak well for themselves. Mike Denney, thank you for your time today. Again, to our audience, I apologize for the signal, the strength of the signal on Mike's end. We'll get that straightened away for our next interview, but it's absolutely a joy to be able to have some time to spend with Mike Denney. We hope you folks join us at the NCAA Division II National Championships in St. Louis at the Scheifele Arena, 13th and 14th of March. Mike, thank you.
Thank you.
He's Mike Denney, the head coach of the Maryville Saints, the national champion Maryville Saints of the national duels. Can you imagine that? First championship for these guys, and it only took 3.5 years. Unbelievable. We'll see what he can do next. Can he win a national title at the Division II Championships? We'll see. It's up next.